Hi there, it's Paulie here. Haha. With Mr. Snoots. Now, I'm doing a combined review. I've got some games, and they're good games. However, explaining each one is quite short because they run off cards. These are all by the same publisher, Unstable. Unstable Games. Now, they're probably most famous for Unstable Unicorns. As you can see, this is a small box game, and it's a magnetic. You can pull and tug and push, it's a magnetic flip. But again, we've got pretty simple rules, and we have some cards inside the box, which we shall show you here. Now, this is a great little party game. So, the idea is you have each player as a stable of unicorns. First person to get 7 unicorns in their stable wins the game. There is a little deck of baby unicorns. Let's open and find the baby unicorns. Where are you, blighters? Yep, there we go. So, everyone gets a card that's actually got the rules, main rules on it. So you get baby unicorns. There are different sorts. Evil skull unicorns, there are baby narwhals, there are rainbow unicorns, all sorts of things. So, pretty simple. They don't really do much. You get dealt out a hand of the other sort of cards, which have black backs. Now, these have things in them. These have ordinary unicorns, which are quite funny. They tend to be like neckbeard unicorns, IT unicorns, Instagram girls, all kinds of quite funny things. They don't have power. And then you also get some more powerful ones, like some specialist unicorns, greedy flying unicorns, and so on. Annoying flying unicorns, seductive unicorns. A lot of this is a bit of a piss take, in case you hadn't noticed, on My Little Pony. But there are some tactical cards in there as well. Now, some of these allow you to improve a stable, and they'll have things like they might have artillery that lets your stable open fire on other people's stables and blow up the unicorns, or it might allow you to get extra cards, take extra actions, do extra things. You can also have disabilities which go onto you either have to play them onto your stable, or you play them on someone else's, and these screw up that person's stable. It might cause them to start losing unicorns, it might start giving them less cards, less options, can do horrible things to them. Some of these special unicorns will have things on them, but essentially you have cards that come out and allow you to turn the baby unicorns into adult unicorns, and you can also turn them into specialist unicorns and so forth, filling out your stable. But the specialist unicorns and so on will often have powers that will allow them to do things like steal. You can steal unicorns from other people's stables. There are stabby unicorns with knives on them, and they stab other unicorns. There's one with a chainsaw, and there's necromancer unicorns that can go through the discard pile and find unicorns that have been killed and bring them back. So, essentially, the game is in the cards. Those rules that I've given you are almost they're almost a nonsense. It's just when it's your turn, okay, yep. You can pick up a card, discard. You've got to have you maximum of 5 in the hand. You can play down cards. You can trigger down whatever is going on. So everything is just however it's written in the cards. And you've got this little reminder here. So what do we got here? Yep. So on your turn. Yeah, you trigger any cards that have effects on them. Let's say at the start of your turn, you draw a card from the deck. When it's your act, and now you can play a unicorn, a magic, an upgrade or a downgrade card, or you can draw yet another card. And at the end of the phase, you discard cards until you don't have more than 5 in your hand. So, dead simple. So that's why I wanted to do multiple reviews at once, because each of these is quite short. Unstable Unicorns is hilariously funny. the cards are murderous and crazy, and there are many supplements for it that just have more strange and crazy cards. Narwhals are a theme all the way through it, like, you know, they're the sea unicorns, which I really like. So these same guys have done some other very cool things. Another unstable game, and this is adorable. Happy Little Dinosaurs. It's just, it's tragic, but I love it. So, opening this is a little bit more substantial game. So, we've got a rules sheet that folds out, but the rules are fairly simple. And again, the gameplay is in the cards. But what we get is there are different types of dinosaur, and each of them gets this little playboard. So, what is this? So, this is the stego, about to be killed. Each has this victory track on them and a place to put your cards. Nervous Rex, I see what you did there. Bad Luck Bronto, which, as you can see, has lots of little carnosaurs biting him. Triceratops. So, each of these you can see has, you can see they've got 2 heart ratings there, green and a blue. There's also, what is it? There's also a red category. There are minuses and pluses. So each of these gets minuses and pluses to certain sorts of effects in the game. They all balance out. Each one's got a +1 in something and a -1 in something else. So, inside the game, beyond those, you can see you've got these cool little wooden blocks. So there's the stego, and usable stuff, except I can't figure out how I got him in there. It's alright, figure it out later. Yeah, so we've got 2 decks of cards again. So, one is the disasters deck, and these are different kind of disasters that turn up. Spa day in a tar pit, casual afternoon stroll through the volcanoes, this feels personal. Some of them are just emotional, you know, downpours. You take a paper cut off a leaf. Bright ideas, uncommon cold, attacked by giant ants, etc. So these are all color coded. So it tells you it's a physical attack, it's an emotional attack, it's an environmental sort of attack. So when it is your turn, what happens is, everybody is picks their creature. Now you've got to get 50 victory points, which is what those tracks are. You're trying to get as you gain points, you move along this little board until you get 50, and you escape this goddamn valley and can hopefully live some kind of life. But everyone sits around, and then from the disasters pack, one disaster is turned over. That is the current disaster you are all facing. Then what happens is whoever goes first, and I think they say something like the youngest person there goes first or whatever, but you've got the general cards, and these are full of things like delicious smoothies made out of bugs, or a pick made out of a skull. They all have numbers and so on them. So what you do is, you can see these are also kind of color coded. So some of these have special effects on them. So again, the play is in the cards with the special effects they've got. But what happens is, one person gets dealt 5 cards, and they then, I think they take 2 cards out, put them face down, and then they pass those on to the next person, what's left in their hand, and that person picks up cards to replace what's left. So you're kind of passing this deck, building bits of it around, and effectively the cards have some effects that you can play. I quite like. Pet rock, yay! What's this one? You may discard a point card from your hand and add its point value to your score in any round, etc. So it's another one where the fun and the power is in the cards as you are laying these things down and actually making your hand. But once the round has happened, you turn over cards and so on. Now the person who has the highest final numerical value on their cards, they're the official kind of winner of that round, and they move ahead a number of spaces equal to their numerical value. Bearing in mind that the cards people have chosen as they come over can remove cards from other people, steal them from other people, or they've got things, if you've got cards that have the same colour value, then they add together or multiply, or so there's lots of things written again on the cards that actually give you the gameplay. But whoever ends up with the best numerical value, you move forward that number of spaces. Then everyone moves forward a number of spaces equal to how many disaster cards they've got in their personal hand. Because while one person got the highest number of points, one person got the lowest, and that's the loser. And that person gets the disaster card, and that goes into their hand. If they get, through the course of play, if they get 3 different colour codes of disasters in front of them, then their dinosaur keels over and they're out of the game. If they get 3 disasters of the same colour, then the dinosaur keels over and they're out of the game. But otherwise, actually having a bunch of disasters in your hands is not too bad, because everyone moves forward a number of spaces equal to the number of disasters they got in their hand. It's just there's going to come a point, since there's only like 4 colour codes of disaster, where you're going to get 3 different colours in your hand. So don't push it. So again, a very simple trumps games. They're very, very simple. Not that trump, actual trumps, where you are trying to gather a hand, have a look at what you can make out of what you've got, put down your ones in secret and pass on your discards, and people are going to make what they can out of it. So this is a tragic game, because these utterly adorable creatures are not only going through just physical hell, but just emotional hell as well. So very, very sweet. Now, the wrong party. I love this one. So this one is, again, it's a trump game, but it's very sweet. So if it'll just open. So again, you have a fold-out sheet of rules, and these are rather fun. And what you get is you have a deck that are parties, and these are Halloween parties, raves, 80s theme parties, masquerades, political fundraising parties, these sorts of things. And then there are party guests of various kinds. So everyone gets a party hat that represents them, and you're keeping score on a little score track. But what you're doing is, hang on, where's that score track? Just to show you, it's a simple thing where you're trying to tally up victory points, and he who finally gets to 100 wins. So you get a handful of these cards, which are different types of party goer: dragons, cult leaders, retired guy, that guy, fan nerds, campaign volunteers, royal nannies, corporate lawyers, conspiracy theorists, Kickstarter bastards, technicians. Now, some of these are actually, they're also D&D parties, so they've got like they got paladins and thieves and all this sort of stuff in here as well. So you really can get the wrong party. Again, they're all color coded. Now, they've got a numerical value on them, and you can see they've got little symbols on them. So the top row are the things that they like. So there are symbols for things like drinking, fighting, song, talk, mysticism, gaming, eating, these sorts of things. Kids, even. So they've got a list of things that they like, and a list of things they hate, and a numerical value. In the case of the cult leader, they don't really have anything they don't like. But you can see a substantial deck. So everyone gets given a hand of these cards. You've turned over what the party is going to be, and then from your hand you can pick out. You can discard. You pick up. You then put down one party goer face up. You put other party goers face down, and everyone sort of does this in a row, and then you reveal all of your party guests, and some of the party guests and so on, whoever has the most kind of likes in something, they get some extra bonuses. But basically you get victory points for the number of guests that have the same colour as the colour code of the party. You get victory points for every guest that likes something to go with the theme of the party. So this guy likes drink and talk. So if we were having a murder mystery party, no, it's gaming, conflict and talk. So he does like talk, so he picks up a point for that, an extra point. So all you're really doing is very simple, is you're just picking up these points. And there are also bonuses in there if you happen to be the one that's got the most people who happen to like one aspect of the party. Or if you've got a broader spectrum of guests. It doesn't have to be ones that all are from the same colour. If you've got a spectrum of different colours, then that also gets you victory points. So there's a little tally sheet that comes with the game that tells you what victory points go for what, and you advance forward. Again, the humour of it comes from the fact that you're setting up, here we go, it's a party political game. We're doing a party to a fundraiser for a political thing. We get, a D&D barbarian, we get a cult leader. Actually, it sounds alright so far. We get an IT guy, and these are the people that ended up at the party. And their little cover says it all, because one of the parties that you're putting together is, this is actually a dungeon exploration party. What do we got? Well, we got the balloon bending clown, and we got a neckbeard IT guy, and so again, a fairly simple game. Here to Slay is kind of a cool one. So, same company again. This is a more D&D-ish one, and this is why I've left it to last, because I think it's the one that everyone will like. So, this one, what we have some cards that are monsters. Now, I'll remove his glasses so I can read this. So these are, we also have some cards that are, what are these ones? Effects, whatever. So we can get the War-Worn Owlbear, Dark Dragon King, cool double-headed wolf. I do love the artwork that they have with all of these. So these are monsters. Now, you also have party members and the inevitable deck of cards. So you have some party member cards that you can take, and that is, everyone gets one, and that is your initial hero. So you might get the cloaked mage, or you might get a bard or whatever. These are all special versions of basic classes. They're a little bit better than the normal ones. You play the game. There are different classes: fighters, rogues, clerics, paladins, bards, and what's the other one? Sorcerers, magic users. If you can get a party together that has 6 different character types in it, you win. Or if you kill 3 monsters, you win. When it is your turn, you're picking up from a deck. Now, the deck obviously has some You can find potions, and you can get all sorts of extra effects and so on. But what you're doing is you've got 3 action points, and you can spend them however you will. So for an action point, you can draw a card from the deck. What else can you do? You can play a hero, magic, or item card from your hand, and you can roll immediately if there's some kind of effect that brings out. For 2 action points, you can attack a monster, and for 3 action points, you can discard your hand and pick up an entirely new one. So what you're trying to do is go through those cards, and some of these are going to be items, potions, tactics and thrones that give you bonuses, but some of them are characters. You're trying to bring those characters out of your hand and get them into play. Now the monsters, if you're trying to fight a monster, what they have on them are requirements. So there's little color coding on these, and it will say what's needed to attack them, and that will be either a number of characters, or it will be characters of a certain type. So the owlbear, for instance, has got the coding on it that essentially says you'll need 2, you're going to need 1 hero of any type and 1 thief of some sort. There are magic ones, or there's undead ones there that will say Abyssal Queen. You just need 2 heroes of any type, but there are like some lich ones, whatever. You've got to have a cleric, and you've got to have a magic user, or you can't beat this thing. Then there is a dice roll that is going to be needed to defeat the thing if you meet that requirement. There are dice come with the game. There are 2 6-sided dice. You've got to roll that number or higher. If you lose, there's a little chart, and there are consequences if you lose. You're going to lose characters, or you're going to lose equipment, probably both. So you only want to attack something if you've got the required characters that will let you attack it, and if you figure you've got a fair chance of doing it. If it's going to be a 9 or higher to win on 2 6-sided dice, you're going to want a potion that gives you a bonus to the roll. You want a magic sword, you want a spell that the magician can use, etc. So there are a set number of monsters available at the start of the game, and more of them come out. If you defeat a monster, it's replaced by a new one, and the cards bring them out. So this one's more D&D-esque, but it is, again, it's entirely simple. The gameplay nuance comes entirely from what's written on the cards, as they give you your modifiers, and they give you your special things that you can do. You can now pick an extra monster from the card. You can now bring back a hero from the dead. You can swipe a hero from someone else's party and you make them a better deal and put them onto yours. All of these are very, very simple games, which is why I chose to review them all in one block. In each case, they've got the simplest possible victory conditions to remember. So, running through it again from the top. Unstable unicorns. Get 7 unicorns into your stable. The cards let you attack other people's stables, steal unicorns, convert some sorts of unicorns into more spectacular ones that have got weird powers. Easy. We've got happy little dinosaurs, which first one to amass 50 points and get off the track escapes the valley, and they win. You use 1 deck of cards to reveal what sort of disaster everyone is trying to master, and then you use cards to build up a revealed hand that gives you points values that let you overcome these disasters. And if you fail, if you're the one with the lowest score, the disaster card goes into your hand. If you get 3 of the same colour or 3 of completely different colours of disasters in your hand, your dinosaur is out and you lose. Otherwise, everyone then moves forward, 1 for each disaster that each of you has in their hand. So, fairly simple, and it is a bit of an elimination fest, this one. This, by the way, also has toys of these dinosaurs that you can get, which are just so cool. Wrong party. Again, the humour comes off the fact that you're building, at the end of it, you're building a party which, you know, has the most ridiculous guests. But you're using a deck of cards that turns over a theme for the party. You're using a pick up and draw system of, you know, getting cards to put together some guests that you're bringing to the party, and the guests that you bring to the party score you points depending on how much they like the themes of that party. There's not that many tactics, I have to say, in this one. It was really the stuff you've got in your hand. They either like the party or they don't. Yes, you're going to have to look through and figure out which ones are going to get you the most points, but he who gets 100 points wins. And finally, Here to Slay, which is a D&D-esque beer and pretzels, shits and giggles card game where you are trying to either get a adventure party that's got one of each character. Has 6 character classes in it. There are 7 character classes. But if you can get at least one each of 6 different classes, you win. Or if you slay 3 monsters. And again, you have, in this one, you have an action point budget, which you can spend to do things like pick up cards, play cards, attack the monsters. And again, the gameplay is in the cards. The things that you have on there will allow you to do powers, it'll allow you to screw up the other guy's games, steal their characters, evoke extra powers from yours, get bonuses when attacking monsters, bring out extra choices of monsters to see, let you bring dead characters back from the dead pile and everything. So, just a good fun little game. So, look, Unstable Games, they have the artwork in these, you can see it's consistently the same artist and very often the same characters. They are utterly adorable. The art is just beautiful. The games are full of humour. The cards are a delight. They're all covered with the artwork. They're all pretty funny. So this is a game where you'll have favourite characters. The art on the card is always worth some laughs. It's a good game. All of these are a good game. Like I said, it's just that each one is so simple, it wasn't worth doing as its own review, because the nuance of all the play is what's written on the cards, and each one has a substantial deck of cards. There's like 100 or more cards in each of these things, plus some like unstable unicorns you can buy supplements for. So anyway, the company is called Unstable. I would say anything of theirs is really worth a look. These are great beer and pretzel games to have. Beer and pretzel games are a useful thing to kind of have in your arsenal. If you're going to a convention, always carry one or more with you, because you'll get a bunch of people sitting around with nothing to do, so you can just fling this thing down in front of everyone. Let's play. And again, 30 seconds will explain the rules on any of these. But they're also good to just have around for general gaming. People are late, you just want to have something, or sometimes everyone's brain's burned out and we don't want to do an adventure session tonight. So a beer and pretzel game is often a great kind of palate cleanser. So anyway, have a look at them. Unstable Games. I'm looking forward to seeing more from them. They've got more stuff out there and more stuff coming. They're onto a roll. These kind of simple card trump games with funny artwork and so on are obviously going to work well for them, and more power to them. Well done, guys. Well done to those designers. Yay! Anyway, Snoots and I will hopefully see you around a gaming table sometime soon. I really hope we can meet someday, and until then, look after yourselves. Okay, bye. He wants to push it. Okay, it's over there. Bye.